It's the worst 5 words any auto pro can hear from a customer. Worse than when they say no. Worse than when they say the price is too high. That's 5 words as well, but that's not the one I'm talking about. What are those 5 words? Those 5 words are, I gotta think about it. Nothing brings a frown to an auto pro's face faster than hearing a customer say, I gotta think about it. That's what we're gonna talk about tonight on this episode of The Best Show in Auto, Live with Lopes. Hit that share button right now and tell everyone, tell them all that Lopes is live.
Now for the hundreds watching live and the millions around the world that wish they could be here. Ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready for Live with Lopes.
What up, guys? It's Gary Vee, and it's time to get more Frank. Frank, where are you?
This is Anthony Santangelo, your sales trainer and mentor for life, Automax Recruiting and Training, and it's time to get more Frank.
Oh yes, my friends. Oh yes, my friends. Boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen, kings and queens, welcome to another episode of The Best Show in Auto. Welcome to another episode of Live with Lopes. Hey, my friends, what are the 5 words that, auto pros, what are the 5 words that you absolutely hate to hear? That you hate, despise, that as soon as you hear a customer say them, you're like, I know what it is. Those 5 words are, I gotta think about it. Hands down, those are the 5 worst words that any auto pro can ever hear. I gotta think about it. Well, on this show, on this brand new episode of Live with Lopes, what they mean, what the customers really mean when they say, I got to think about it, and how you can stop it. Hey, if we've never met before, if this is the very, very first time that you're watching the show, like the first time, maybe you caught it on somebody's share, maybe you caught it because somebody tagged you in the show, that's happening a lot lately, and that is fantastic. I love it. Maybe this is the first time we've ever met. Hey, my name is Frank J Lopes. I help auto dealers nationwide create and close customers with strategic marketing services, sales processes, and live sales and BDC training. I'm the vice president of FB Digital, which is the absolute best. The best, hands down, no dispute, the best marketing and advertising agency in all of retail automotive. I'm also the president of Strong 30 Training Technologies. You know what I'm going to say. The best the best automotive training company for sales and for BDC. I'm the author of the 7-Minute Setup, available right now on Amazon, Kindle, Barnes & Noble, Apple Books, anywhere you can get a book, or you can go right to 7minutesetupbook.com. Don't forget, 7-Minute Setup was mentioned by Forbes as one of the 7 best investments you can make. I cannot wait to get into the show tonight. I can't wait to get into this because, way too many auto pros are hearing customers say, I got to think about it. You know how we do this? We're going to dig in, starting with number one, my friends. Why they say I got to think about it. You have to understand why they say it. Friends, for you to stop it, you first got to understand why the customer is saying it in the first place, okay? And look, I'm just going to be totally straight with you. I got to think about it probably, 90% of the time, 95% of the time, 99% of the time. How many times can I up the number, right? 90 some odd percent of the time, man, I got to think about it. Don't have anything to do with thinking about it, my friends. It doesn't. I got to think about it is code for something else. Something that they didn't ask you. Something that you didn't ask them. It could be code for, I'm not comfortable. I don't like this. I don't like you. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm kind of lost over here. I really don't know what's going on. I'm way in over my head. My God, this car is way more money than I thought it was going to be. Friends, there are so many, so many different reasons as to why a customer will say, I got to think about it. And look, we're going to dig into so many of them, okay? But you have to understand, first of all, that the customer says, I got to think about it as defense mechanism. It's protection. I know you've all heard of fight or flight before. Well, this is the exact opposite of fight. There ain't no fight. There's flight. I got to think about it means that's code for, man, I got to get the hell out of here. I want to get out of this place. I want to get away from you. I want to get away from this car. I want to get away from this dealership. I'm out. I want to get out of here, but I'm trying to be nice. I'm trying not to be rude, right? I'm trying to dodge the situation. I'm trying to be non-confrontational. But friends, when you hear it, I'm telling you, when you hear it, that's code for something else completely different. And you immediately, you got to get right in there. You got to get in there and you got to find out why, all right? Now, the more as we go through the show tonight, I'm going to give you the most frequent reasons why a customer actually says it, what you did wrong, what went wrong, what happened wrong, why, so that you know, so that you can prevent it in the future. But first of all, you got to understand the customer says it as a defense mechanism. There are so many things that are intertwined, that are inside of, I got to think about it. So many different things. The customer's confidence, super low, right? If you're in Strong 30 training, you know we talk all the time about how to get the customer's confidence level from being super low to being super high, how to get rid of the customer's anxiety, how to get rid of their they're just not feeling 100% confident about what they're doing, about who they're buying from, about what they're buying, about where they're buying it, about what they're doing. Why did they even leave the house this morning? When a customer lets out that whole, I got to think about it, you got to understand it's actually code for something else. It's a complete defense mechanism. It's a complete diversion from what's really going on. And friends, when you really, I'm already starting to get ahead of myself, okay? But when you're really tuned in, okay, just like what Vinny just said, you didn't earn it. You didn't earn the yes. You didn't listen, okay? When you're really tuned in with the customer, when you follow the process, when you're tuned in with the customer, the amount of I got to think about it, they lower they really go down a lot. You're able to totally diminish those, to minimize them, instead of hearing it all the time like we do when we don't follow the process, when we don't listen to the customer, all these things. So number one, the first thing, I'll put it back on the screen, you got to understand that the customer says, I got to think about it as a defense mechanism. It's complete defense against you and diversion from what the real problem is. When you hear, I got to think about it, there's really something else. And you really got to get into it. And also, what you're going to learn on the show tonight, especially the last 2 points tonight, especially the last two. That's where the whole thing is fire, but that's where the real fire is. And the last 2 points tonight, man, you're going to learn how to make it so that the situations that create that lack of confidence in the customer, man, that you take care of those during the process and you get them out of the way. So number one, when they say, I got to think about it, why they say it, and how to stop it. First of all, you got to understand that it's nothing but a defense mechanism. Let's keep moving and let's go on to number 2. Why they say, I got to think about it. Friends, you've got a bad process. They say, I got to think about it. A lot of times it's because you or your store have a bad process. And friends, look, let me just be totally straight with you on this one, okay? There are so many processes out there, okay, that lack the steps necessary to eliminate, I got to think about it. There are so many processes out there that don't even address the issues that create I got to think about it moments. And friends, even look, if your store doesn't even have a process, okay, there's a lot of salespeople that they don't do the things that are necessary to eliminate the I got to think about it moments. And look, if there's no process in your store, like I'm just going to be straight with you, it's totally up to you to be able to have your own process. You can't just depend on the store all the time. There's a lot of times, honestly, this is up to you, right? If there's no process in your store, I mean, that's a whole nother show, okay? It's a whole nother show and a whole nother conversation. But if there's no process in your store, my friends, the process is up to you, and you've got to build the process, and you've got to have your own process. But you need to make sure that in the process that you have, that you are putting in place all the things you need to completely eliminate the I got to think about it moments. We're going to go into each and every single one of those, man. I'm going to give you the specific elements on the things that need to be in that process, but I'm really going to focus on you. You need to make sure that you have things in there, right? You got to I'll use the terms that you're all familiar with, okay? You got to have those trial closes in there. You got to make sure that you have the opportunities in there for the customer to communicate, for the customer to be heard. If you're in Strong 30 training, you know, we talk about the 5 questions all the time, right? We always talk about the 5 questions. The 5 questions eliminate, they drastically reduce at a minimum. They drastically reduce the I got to think about it moments. They bring them down to absolutely nothing. But friends, if you number 1, don't have a process. Number 2, if you have a process but it's bad. The third, you know what else also could be done? You're not following the process. If you're not following the process, friends, you're opening up all of these opportunities for these I got to think about it moments to actually pop up. Friends, if your store has a process and it's a good process, the process is in place because it works. You need to respect it and you need to utilize it so that you can eliminate these I got to think about it moments. Most of the time when either you don't have a process or you're not following the process, that's how the I got to think about it moments pop up. Because when you follow the process has parts in it specifically designed for the customer to be able to communicate. The Strong 30 process has multiple layers of places for the customer to be able to communicate. Why? If there's an I got to think about it moment about to come up, we need to get it out as early as possible. We need to get it on the table as fast as we possibly can so you can address it. If most of the time, by the time the I got to think about it comes out, it's too late. It's too late. You're done. Back on the mat, looking up, lights in your eye, right? You've got the referee going, 8, 9. You're just about done. The bell's about to ring, man. It's over. It's absolutely over. Just like Vinny says in the comments, nobody is above the process. Nobody. That's right, Vinny. That's absolutely right. Nobody is above the process. Wendell Hardy, my man, from Germain Toyota down there in Naples. Wendell says, in these times, customers don't need to think about it. They need to be dealing with somebody they trust. Absolutely. So true. Matt, do a customer statement early in your fact finding. Absolutely, man. These are all the things that's why these parts are in the process, okay? Because nobody wants to hear, I got to think about it. So either you don't have a process, you got a bad process, or worse of all, you're not following the process. That's probably what it is, to be honest. More than likely, you're not following the process. Hey, friends, I got a question for you. How often do you hear, I got to think about it? And when you hear it, how does it make you feel? Put that in the comments. Put that in the comments right now. We've done 2, okay? But we're just getting warmed up. There is so much more to come on this amazing brand new episode of The Best Show in Auto, Live with Lopes. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere.
Live with Lopes is brought to you by iRecon from V-Auto. See every step of the reconditioning journey for every car. Car Now, the only road that can bridge online and in showroom. And Hamlin & Associates, your next record month starts here.
Ever wonder why the best of the best choose Hamlin & Associates? Check this out.
My answer to why I do so much business is results. Hamlin & Associates gets me results.
We have always used Hamlin & Associates, and we've always had great results.
When it comes to a company managing your customer information and managing your direct mail for your business, I would definitely pick John Hamlin and Associates.
We can have such a high-level, intelligent conversation with our consumer base and talk to them in real terms that opens so many doors and gives us so many better chances to convert.
Over 34 years of providing our clients with the best solutions, the best support, and the strongest return on investment. Let us help you go to the next level.
Hey friends, let me make this super. I love this new video from Hamlin and Associates because it talks about the best, okay? And it talks about how the best dealers are the ones that always are using Hamlin and Associates. And you know what? I'm going to jump right in there because Hamlin and Associates is the exclusive direct mail house for FB Digital. We do at least 100,000 pieces of mail each and every single month with Hamlin and Associates. And look, I can take my dealer partner's mail business anywhere. I go to Hamlin because they are the best. No BS, no empty promises, no carnival gypsy type of crap is going on. No, when they say something's going to happen, it's going to happen. When they say a mailer is going to work, money in the bank, baby. That's money in the bank. It's absolutely going to work. John Hamlin and Grant Zimmerman and Brian, they're on the show. They're watching right now. They're in the comments, okay? You need to reach out to them or make it really simple. Just go to hamlinandassociates.com. You deserve the best. You need the best, okay? You need to go to the best. It's Hamlin and Associates.
You're watching Live with Lopes. 7MS, the 7-minute setup by Frank J Lopes, was tagged as one of the 7 best investments you can make by Forbes magazine. Yeah, Forbes magazine. Grab it today on Amazon, Apple Books, Barnes & Noble, and wherever books are sold online.
This is Jameson Johnson with Athens Ford, hashtag Ride with JJ. It is time to get more Frank. Let's go.
You are watching the best show in auto. You're watching a brand new episode of Live with Lopes. Why they say I got to think about it and how to make that stuff stop. Okay, that's what we're talking about on the show tonight. Hey, friends, if you haven't yet, I know that you know somebody that needs to be watching, okay? I know that you know somebody, the managers, everybody that's on your team, all your salespeople, all your other managers, all of your people in the BDC, you need to tag them in the comments right now, okay? Tag them and grab them and bring them into the show, man. I don't want to hear anybody, I don't want to hear an auto pro ever have to hear I gotta think about it. I don't want to hear that no more, okay? And I know that you don't want the people on your team to hear it anymore, okay? So tag them in the comments, please. Don't forget your shares, you hitting the share button, it means the absolute world to me, okay? So please hit that share button so we can get the show out to as many people as we possibly can. Last but not least, don't forget, your comments, they mean the absolute world to me. I so love reading them. I enjoy reading them. I enjoy responding to them, all right? But also, your comments have value. They have a tremendous amount of value to everybody else that's watching the show. Don't sit there and think, oh, nobody wants to hear what I have to say, or you think of something and you go, oh, that's stupid. I'm not going to put that in. No, get rid of that stinking thinking, man. Put your comments in, share them with everybody. Really, I know that you've got good knowledge up here. You've got good experience. Share it in the comments, okay? And don't forget, the best show in auto, Live with Lopes, is now on 7 days a week. Every Monday night at 9 p.m. Eastern, that's when we have the brand new live show. And then every Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and Sunday night at 8 p.m. we have a re-live with Lopes where we're putting up the best of the best, okay? And then every Saturday morning at 8 a.m. Now you can really get more Frank, man. You can get more Frank 7 days a week by watching the best show in auto, Live with Lopes. Friends, the show's fire. I'm just telling you, the show's fire, and we're just starting to get warmed up. We've only done 2 points, and the show is already fire, man. If you think the show is fire right now, give me that fire. Give me that fire emoji in the comments right now. Give me that fire emoji, man, and I'll really get fired up, okay? Put it in the comments right now as we keep moving forward. Why they say I got to think about it and how to make it stop. Let's keep going. We've done 2 already. We're up to number 3. And number 3, my friends, is they say I got to think about it because you did a bad vehicle presentation. Your presentation stunk. And now the customer's giving you the, yeah, I got to think about it. And you can't blame them. Honestly, you can't blame them at that point. Look, friends, let me give you 2 stats that are extremely important that you got to know when it comes to vehicle presentation, okay? The first one, customers care about less than 20% of the features that are available on a vehicle, okay? The average customer cares about less than 20% of the features that are available on a vehicle. But, the second stat, they care about over 80% of the features that are important to them. And yet, when you're doing a presentation, when you're doing a vehicle presentation, when you're doing a butterfly or you're doing a walk around, what are you talking about? Most of the time, my friends, you're talking about everything except what's important to the customer. You're talking about the torque, you're talking about the horsepower, you're talking about the cubic feet of footroom in the 3rd row. You're talking about the aerodynamic wing on the back of the car. You're talking about the new design of the headlamps. You're talking about all of this that the customer does not care about. Why are you doing this? Well, most of the time you're doing it for 2 reasons. Number 1, because you think it makes you sound smarter. Because you think that by you knowing all these things, you're going to razzle-dazzle the customer. They're going to be so impressed with what you're saying, with all you know about all these stats and all this stuff. You're going to razzle-dazzle them, and they're going to be like, oh, we've got to buy the car from him. He's so smart. In essence, you know what's actually going on? You're putting the customer to sleep. You're putting them 100% to sleep. The second reason that you do that is because you believe, and this one's, number 1's your fault. Number 2 is really not your fault. It's because you've watched one too many walk-around videos from the manufacturer, and you think that that's the way to actually present a vehicle to a customer. And you know what? It's not. It's just not. You want to win a walk-around competition? Yeah. You go and you study those walk-around videos, okay? You want to sell cars? You got to find out what are the most important features to that customer. What are the most important things to them? What features did they have in the vehicle that they're driving now that are an absolute must? What features do they absolutely need to have in their new vehicle, in their next vehicle? Maybe their life changed. Maybe they've got a kid now. They didn't have kids before. Maybe they got 9 dogs. They didn't have dogs before. Who knows what it is? That's right, Vinny, the hot buttons, right? You got to learn what those hot buttons are, and then your vehicle presentation revolves around what? Those hot buttons, the things that are important to the customer. Remember those 2 stats. It's so vitally important. Customers care about less than 20% of the features that are available on a vehicle, but they care about 80% of the features that are important to them. Okay? If it's important to them, that's what you need to be talking about. Not the things that you think are important to you, not that razzle-dazzle stuff. Right? That's not going to impress anybody. That's not going to make anybody want to buy a car. That's going to put somebody to sleep. That's going to or even worse, that's going to completely overwhelm somebody. And then what's going to come out? Oh, you know what? I think we got to go home and think about this. This car has a lot of stuff in it. Doesn't this car have a lot of stuff in it? Oh, yes, it does. We got to get out of here. That's what the customer's thinking. You're putting them to sleep. You're totally overwhelming them with information. No good. No good, my friends. All that is totally bad, okay? Your presentation needs to revolve around one topic. That's it. What is important to this person? What is important to this customer? How do I show them that all of the things that they need, plus the things that they want, all the things they need, plus most of the things that they want are in this vehicle that I'm going to show them. How do I get that through to them? How do I show them? That is exactly what you need to do. When your presentations stink, when your presentations are just not on point, when you're completely missing what's important to the customer, that's going to bring out a I got to think about it moment, and that's absolutely what you don't want to do. So number 3, when they say I got to think about it, why they said it, and how to stop it, you did a bad presentation. Okay, that's number 3. Let's move on to number 4. And number 4 is either you move too quick or you move too slow. Either you move too quick or you move too slow. This is one of the ones that I see salespeople do all the time, okay? All the time. Either they're in a big rush. They're in a big rush and they're talking really fast and they're trying to go over everything with the car and they're just trying to get the customer to get to yes. They're just trying to get to yes. They're doing every single line that they possibly can to get the customer to say yes. They try to go for the 3 yeses. They try to stack it all up. And then what do? They go, are you ready to take it home today? And you get I got to think about it. You went way too fast there, son. You went way too fast. Or they go too slow. Or they take all day. Oh, I can't find the keys. Oh, the battery's dead. Oh, well, this car has 334 foot-pounds of torque. And you know what? Oh, I got to go talk to my manager. Friends, if you're going too fast or you're going too slow, you're going to get an I got to think about it moment. You're going to get that right back. You got to be like Goldilocks, man. You got to be like Goldilocks and them 3 bears, okay? Not too slow and not too fast, man. You got to do it just right. You got to pace the customer's experience and have it be just right, okay? If you rush any part of the process, the customer is going to pick up on that and they're going to feel rushed. They're going to feel hurried. When people are rushed and hurried, they feel pressured. Okay? When they feel pressured, their anxiety goes sky high. That's right, Scotty T. Just mirror the customer. Go with the customer's pace. If they got questions, man, you stop. You stop. You stop the process right there and you go right into it. Go into those questions. Help them with those questions. Steph Ross just jumped on, and Steph Ross knows all about pace with the customer. She knows don't go too fast, okay? And at the same time, don't drag your ass. Don't go too slow either. You got to go with the pace of the customer. You got to go with their speed. Now, if you go too fast, customer's going to hit the brakes on you. And that hitting the brakes, that pumping the brakes is going to be, well, wait a minute, I got to think about it. Okay? And look, this happens, you know where this happens the most? This happens with salespeople all the time, okay? But it happens even more in the BDC. I can't tell you how many times I start to work with a new dealer partner and I start digging into their process. I start digging into their scripts, into their word tracks, into their templates. And what are they doing? Oh, I see you submitted a lead on this. Great choice. When would you like to come in? Totally disregarding a question that's asked, totally disregarding anything that the customer put in the lead, asking questions, none of all gone. Just, hey, when do you want to come in? When can you come in? When can you come in? When can you come in? What do you get from that? Whoa, wait a minute. You usually get no response. That's what you get. They don't answer the text messages. They don't email you back. They don't return your voicemail. Why? Because you went too fast. Friends, the pace is so dramatically important. If you go too fast, you're going to get the brakes pumped on you. If you go too slow, you're going to lose the customer's interest. And when you actually do get around to asking for the sale, if you ever wind up there, if you actually do get to do it, you're going to get I got to think about it as the way to get out, because the customer wants that to end as fast as it possibly can. Too fast or too slow, both are totally wrong. You got to follow the customer's pace. Think like Goldilocks, right? You got to get it just right. If you go too fast, they're going to pump the brakes on you. If you go too slow, they're not going to ask you to speed up, okay? Either they're going to like wait for one of those moments when you're gone, talking to who knows who, or looking for keys, or going to get a battery jumper or whatever. They're just going to get in their car and leave. You ever had a customer you ever hear, even in the dealership, a customer just left? Like, what usually happens? Person's going way too slow, man. Not listening, all kinds of things. Either you're going too fast or you're going too slow. Way too slow, my friends. Way too slow. Hey, let me ask you a question, okay? What features do your customers ask for the most? We're talking about that whole thing of focusing on the features that are most important. In the comments right now, what features do your customers ask for the most? Put that in the comments, my friends. Put it in the comments, and there's still so much more to come on this episode of The Best Show in Auto, Live with Lopes. We'll be right back.
Live with Lopes is brought to you by Hamlin & Associates. Your next record month starts here. iRecon from V Auto. See every step of the reconditioning journey for every car. And Car Now, the only road that can bridge online and in showroom.
Getting a deposit at 11 o'clock at night, and guess what? Scheduling delivery for the next day. It's happened. The fact that that client was able to transact outside of normal business hours is a tried and true statement of where this business is going.
Yeah, we work really hard to make sure that the relationship with the partner is about the numbers and the metrics and the analytics. Our leads went up 30 to 40% over our previous provider, and then when we added the buy now piece, they went up even more after that. So it's been one thing after the other that's led us to a continued partnership with Car Now.
In the entire world, if you get results, you trust the people. That's what it boils down to. And we have great results. Had a 300% increase. Leads, appointments, gross increase, sales.
You're watching Live with Lopes. Need some motivation and inspiration first thing in the morning? Sure you do. Join the Get More Frank text crew for daily motivation and inspiration delivered direct to your phone. Text "Let Me In" to 732-561-1854 to join the crew and get more Frank.
Hey, friends, if you're not in the, I'm just going to tell you straight, okay? If you're not in the Get More Frank text crew, you're totally missing out. There are 3,510 members in the Get More Frank text crew. Each and every single day, I send a text message directly from this phone, right? From this phone right here, I send a text message directly to your phone, okay? It's not some kind of like stupid big group text and everybody can like see what everybody says. No. I send the message to you. It comes into your phone, right? And you get good motivation, inspiration, the exact type of thing that you need each and every single day. Sometimes I'll throw you a little curveball and I'll send you a text message at the end of the day, okay? Just to get you ready for the next day. Just keep you off guard a little bit, right? Keep you guessing. Keep you looking for something new to come in. But every day you get a text directly from me. And best of all, you can text me back at any time and the texts go right here to this phone, okay? They come right in directly to me, 100% private. It costs you nothing. I don't want anything from you. The only thing I want is for you to grow and evolve and do better. That's what I want. I want you to make your dreams a reality. And to do that, you need to fill this with good stuff. Each and every single day, I send the good stuff to you right here in the text crew. All you got to do is just text me the words, "Let me in," to 732-561-1854, or go right here, jointhetextcrew.com. That'll take you right into enrollment. It costs you nothing, no spam, no nothing. Don't worry about that, okay? It's only the good stuff in the Get More Frank text crew.
Hey everybody, Eric Hall here with Classic Chevrolet, and it's time to get more Frank.
Hey, a big shout out to my good friend, friend Eric over at Classic Chevrolet. He just finished up NADA Academy, okay? A huge round of applause. Give a thumbs up right now. Put the thumbs up emoji in the comments right now for my good friend Eric Hall over at Classic Chevrolet for just finishing up NADA Academy, man. If you've been through it, you know it ain't exactly easy. It takes a lot of time. That's a lot of devotion and a lot of dedication to it. Give him a thumbs up in the comments right now, and I'll make sure that he sees. I'm sure he's on, and if he's not, I'll make sure that he sees each and every single one of them. Hey, if you haven't yet, my friends, please hit that share button. Or actually, forget about that. Friends, tag somebody that needs to be on the show, okay? I know that you know somebody that needs to be watching, okay? Tag them in the comments and bring them in. Now you can hit the share button, okay? Now hit that share button and get the show out to as many people as possible. It's so important, really. It is so important that you hit that share button. I can't tell you how much it means to make sure that the show gets out to as many people as possible, okay? So please hit that share button. And last but not least, don't forget, man, I know that you've got something that you want to share. Don't think to yourself that nobody's going to want to hear what you have to say. That's totally ridiculous. Put your comments in the comments, okay? Type them right in there. I enjoy reading them. I love reading them. I love responding to them, okay? But you got to share them first, my friend. So please share, add your comments in as the show is going on. Before the break, I asked, what features do your customers ask for the most? Okay? What do they ask for the most? And friends, what are they asking for? Well, number one, my friend Guy says, man, they're asking, everyone just wants some kind of a deal. I understand. Everybody's always wanting a deal. Today, if you've got the car and the car is available, that's the deal, to be honest, right? If they can just get the car, that's dramatically important. Vinny says safety and reliability and fuel economy. Fuel economy, I bet that's a big one right now. Absolutely. My friend Al Stidham says heated seats. Man, heated seats are like, who doesn't have a car with heated seats, right? Like everybody absolutely needs heated seats. Some of your comments before when we were talking about going too fast or going too slow, Matt Grove says every customer is different. You gotta value their time. Absolutely. So important, man. So important. Scotty T says you got to mirror the customer. Now, when he says mirror the customer, I know Scotty, and what he's talking about He absolutely means that you've got to mirror the customer's pace, not mirror the behavior and stuff like that. People pick up on that in 2 seconds. They don't like that one bit. You've got to absolutely mirror their pace. If they're going fast, you go fast with them, but make sure they get all the information that they need. If they're going slow, they got questions, they want to slow down, they want to take the car on a test drive a little longer, you go with them, go along with them, right? It's so dramatically important. So important that you do that. All right, my friends, we are up to number 5. We've done 4 already. We're up to number 5. They keep getting better and better and better. When they say, I got to think about it, why in the world do they say it? And how do you stop it? Number 5, my friends, number 5 is you did a bad or even worse, no demo ride. Either you did a bad one or you didn't even do a test drive. And this is a huge one, friends. This is a huge one. Just more stats, okay? Because the stats wind up telling the truth. The stats can guide you through what you need to learn, right? 70%, strong 30 training people right now are like, oh my God, again with the stats on the test drives. 70% of people, the main reason they visit the dealership is to see, touch, feel, smell, and drive the car, okay? And 93% of people say that the test drive was a vital part in them making a decision that the vehicle that they bought was the right vehicle for them. The test drive is vitally important, my friends. Like I said, 70% of people, that's the main reason why they visit the dealership, to see, touch, feel, smell, and drive the car, okay? And then 93% of people, it is vital in them deciding. And yet, so many auto pros, they totally punt the test drive. Either they don't offer a test drive, or they don't want to go on the test drive with the customer. And I realize sometimes, I get it. Sometimes, and there's some dealerships that are dealer partners of mine that they let the customers go out by themselves, and that's a part of their process, to give the customer space and to let them talk. That's totally fine. But if that's a part of your process, you got to make sure that you are outside waiting for that customer when they come back off their test drive. Me personally, I think you should go on the test drive with the customer. Absolutely. I think you should be there because questions are going to come up. Now, I don't think you should be a chatty Cathy throughout the whole test drive and just talk in the back seat or in the passenger seat the entire time that you're on the test drive with the customer, all right? But I do believe that you should be there to point out certain things, to answer questions, to tell them where to go. Like in the first place, a lot of times people know where your dealership is, okay? Maybe they just learned where your dealership is. They don't know a good route to go. You need to make sure that you take them on the test drive so that you can tell them where to go. I've also seen dealerships where the test drive consists of the salesperson having the keys and going, yeah, the car's outside over there. Here, just go out there, take the remote and just hit the lock button. The horn will beep. Okay, you'll find the car. It's out there somewhere down that's where the trucks are. It's down there. Okay, just hit that button a bunch of times. Take it for a ride. When you come back, I'll be sitting right here because I ain't getting up. All right, I'll be sitting right here, and you come on back, and I'll tell you how much it costs, and you tell me how much you like it. All right? Okay, I'll see you later. I'm gonna go back to watching this rerun of Tiger King on YouTube over here. All right, friends. If you do a bad demo ride or if you don't even do a demo ride, you're going to get an I got to think about it moment. And you know what? That's one without a demo ride, or if there's a bad demo ride, too fast maybe, right? You didn't let the customer really experience it. You talked the whole time. Maybe they wanted to be alone. Maybe there's a couple, they want to be alone to talk about the car, and you are sitting there like, oh, well, what do you think? What do you think? What do you think? Are you going to take it today? Would you like to take it today? What do you get? Right? And you totally just mess up the demo ride. The customer's not going to get the most important experience in the dealership, which is driving the vehicle. They absolutely positively need that experience. Like I said, 70% of people, the main reason they visit the dealership is to see, touch, feel, smell, and drive the car. Okay? 93% of people, 93% of people, they say that the test drive is an absolute vital step when it comes to deciding which car is the right car for them. And I understand there are some times right now, I get it. There are some times right now when there is no car to test drive. People come in and they want a particular vehicle and we don't have one to test drive. Well, look, they ain't buying it anyway because you don't have one, okay? But I guarantee you, when you do get one, if they order it or if they put their name, if they reserve a vehicle that's coming in or they're waiting for one and you happen to get one and you call the customer, they're going to want to drive it. They're going to want to take the car for a demo ride. They're going to want to take it for a test drive. And look, salespeople, you should absolutely insist. You should insist that every customer take a demo ride. You absolutely should. Managers, you should 1000% insist. You should make sure that it's in your process. You should make sure you train on it. You should make sure it's a vital part of your process. You know that managers, you know there's two things that have a dramatic effect on your closing ratio. Number one is the percentage of people that come in and take a demo ride. The other one is the percentage of people that you put numbers in front of. Those two things, as high as they can be, for our dealer partners, the target is 80%. 80% of all showroom visits should be taking a demo ride. 80% of all showroom visits should have numbers put in front of them. They should look at numbers, okay? Now, the demo ride is dramatically important to the customer. It helps them decide. If you don't let them take a ride, if you just don't invest in the demo ride, if you don't invest in the test drive, if you don't enable it, if you don't encourage it, you're going to get an I got to think about it moment. Of course you're going to. What in the world do you expect? Of course you're going to get an I got to think about it moment. The thing that helps them decide, you took away from them. Or you didn't do properly. Come on now. Number 5 of why people say, I got to think about it, either a bad or no test drive. Let's keep going and let's move on to number 6. And I got to make one change here. Wait 1 second. Stay with me. Technical difficulty, right? That's all right. We're going to move that right there. And then number 6, they really do need to think about it. Why they say I got to think about it? Sometimes they really do need to think about it. Now, look, this is very rare. Okay, this is very rare. I would say my professional opinion of being in automotive retail sales for 30 years, I would say, when we talk about 30 years, 33 years, I would say that the legit I got to think about it is rare. But once in a while, okay, it is there. Once in a while, it does happen. Sometimes people do need to go home and think about it. Sometimes somebody does need to talk it over with a family member or with a friend. Sometimes they got to pray about it, whatever it is, okay? It's very, very rare, and a lot of times you can work on it and you can solve it right there in the dealership while the customer's in front of you. But once in a while, they do need to think about it, okay? What I've found, the more expensive the vehicle, they got to think about it, okay? The lesser amount of experience they have in purchasing vehicles, they got to think about it. Somebody else's money, they got to think about it, or they have to talk to that person. Once in a while, like I said, it's very rare, okay? But once in a while, legit, they do need to think about it. Maybe they need to talk to their accountant. Maybe they own a business and they got to talk to their accountant about what name they should put it in. Maybe they got to talk to their accountant about how much money they should put down. Maybe they got to talk to their accountant about should they buy it or lease it? What's best for them? What's best for their business in the long run? Like I said, it's very, very rare. Most people like that, to be honest, they talk to their accountant before they even come in and like they know exactly what it is that's going to happen. A lot of times they can also call the accountant while they're at the dealership as well, and they kind of know exactly what it is that they need to do. But once in a while, okay, once in a while, You got to let the customer think about it. Once in a while, you got to do that. And man, you got to have your follow-up skills on point. You got to have your follow-up skills not at 100. You got to be at 110 with your follow-up. You got to be an absolute master at follow-up. You got to, okay? You got to. Sometimes when a customer is legit, and look, the experienced auto pros out there, you know, you can feel it. You know when the customer really does need to think about it, talk to somebody else about it. They need to talk to their accountant, their attorney, whatever it is that they got to do. It's a big purchase. You also know when that person really does have to pray about it, about spending the money, whatever it is, okay? When that happens, you got to give the customer their space. You got to give them their time. And by doing that, you know what's going to happen? They're going to come back to you. They're going to come back. I can remember one of the first customers that I had, I'm talking like number 3 or number 4, was this gentleman who came in, suit, right? He was like the accountant type. He's my 3rd or 4th customer. I think he was my 3rd actually. Comes in with the clipboard, like literally has a clipboard with notes on there with all these questions that he needed answered. And I had to give him the answers to each and every single one of those questions, every one that was on there. And then he said to me, okay, I'm going to talk about it with my company and I'm going to think about it if I really like the white, and I'll be back. What'd you know? Not even in 24 hours, I said, okay, no problem. You let me know. I'll call you as well, right? If there's any other questions, anything like that, I'm here to help you. And I'll be honest, Elio Principato, my general manager, man, he came down on me. There ain't nothing to think about, Frankie. What's wrong with you? All he's do is stalling. He's going to go to the other dealership and he's going to get a price and he's going to beat us. And I said, no, Elio, this guy, he's going to come back. Within 24 hours, he came back with a check because one of the questions he asked was, what is the actual price I'm going to pay with taxes, with everything? And I figured it out for him. This is what you're going to pay if you're going to pay cash for the car. Okay, I'm going to think about it. I want the white. What does he do? He comes in with the check. I want the white. Can I take it with me right now? Of course you can. I really wish I remember that guy's name. When I close my eyes, I can see him in the suit and everything. I can see him sitting in front of me still, right? But the reality is, once in a while, it's very rare, but once in a while, you do need to let the customer think about it. It does happen, okay? Last question of the night. Do you go on test drives with your customers? This is one that really kills me, and it's one that I really, really want to know, because what I've found is the answers to this are like all over the place, and the why, okay? Do you go on test drives with your customers? Why do you or why do you not go on a test drive with your customer? Answer that in the comments right now. And friends, we're coming up to the 2 biggest reasons on why they say, I got to think about it, and what you can do to stop it. They're coming up right after this break on the best show in auto, Live with Lopes. Hey, do you go on test drives with your customers? Why yes or why no? Put it in the comments, and we'll be right back.
Live with Lopes is brought to you by Car Now, the only road that can bridge online and in showroom. Hamlin and Associates, your next record month starts here. And iRecon from vAuto. See every step of the reconditioning journey for every car.
49% of dealers say that it takes them 8 to 16 days to get their cars frontline ready. With undefined timeframes and limited accountability, it is no wonder dealers struggle to speed up their reconditioning times and rein in their costs. vAuto's reconditioning solution, iRecon, helps you gain control of your reconditioning process and monitor each vehicle's progress so that you can get your cars to the front line where they can be seen and sold faster. iRecon isn't just a company with a light integration into vAuto. We are vAuto.
You're watching Live with Lopes.
Fitzpatrick, Pash, Kane, Lewis, Greenfield, Reed, Dawson, Lopes, Rice. The best lineup in retail automotive. CBTnews.com. Subscribe today.
It's a little loud, right? What's that all about, man? The computer's a little wonky tonight. I don't know what the hell's going on. But you know what's not wonky? You know what's really good? You know what you need to do? You need to subscribe right there to the Get More Frank podcast. It's available exclusively on Apple Podcasts and on Spotify. Only those two places. Those are the only places that you're going to be able to subscribe and to listen to the Get More Frank podcast. 2 brand new episodes each and every single week. We take clips, only the best of the best. The Get More Frank team, they go and they rake through everything that we got going on. And man, I got a lot of stuff going on lately, okay? They rake right through it. They find the best of the best. They sort it all out, and then it goes into the Get More Frank podcast. We take clips from here, from the best show in auto, Live with Lopes. We take clips from when I'm a guest on somebody else's podcast or when on somebody else's show. We take clips from my show on CBT News, Straight to the Point with Frank J Lopes. We take all the best, and we put it right here. 2 new episodes each and every single week of the Get More Frank podcast.
What's up, everyone? It's Furlan Arts Subprime Hero, and it's time to get more frank.
Yes, my friends, we're back. We're back. The best show in auto, Live with Lopes. We are back. Why they say I gotta think about it? Oh, God, don't you hate that? Ugh. I gotta think about it and how to make it and how to actually make it stop. Hey, before the break, I asked you, do you go on test drives with your customers? Why yes? And if you don't, why no? Right? I want to know. All of us want to know. Do you go on test drives with your customers? Al, my man, Al Stidham said, yes, if there's a problem or a concern, I want to know. You can't overcome an objection unless you know what the objection is. Absolutely. You see, when you go on the test drive with the customer, if there's any type of objection, you're going to know right there because they're going to tell you. You can handle it right there, or you know you need to switch to another vehicle, whatever you need to do. That's how you eliminate the I got to think about it moments, right? You go, number one, the customer has to go for a test drive. And number two, you go on the test drive with the customer. Absolutely great. Guy Miranda. Guy, it's so awesome that you are here, my friend. Guy says, always go on the test drives. Luckily, most employees sought after vehicles and let us show them. Plus, if they do order, they get to drive and make sure they love it before the deal is done. Absolutely, man. You got to have the customer test drive. It's not even a question, okay? Bryson says, yes, unless I can't fit it in. Okay, Bryson, I want to know, and I'm not questioning you here. I want to know, when can you not fit it in? Like, what is the can't fit it in type of thing? And when you can't, what do you do? Do you send somebody else with them? How do you work that out? I really want to know. Here's an absolutely fantastic, my man, Michael Hamilton, my man Hammy, he says, you don't get to a whole other level until you do leveled up stuff. I'm going to say stuff, but he said something else, and that's totally fine, right? The biggest thing I've learned is to listen and really think about what they're saying. Understanding that giving them the best service I can will always be the best. I've had referrals from customers who didn't buy a car from me because of how I treated them. Man, that is absolutely fantastic. If you're not following Michael Hamilton, my man Hammy, if you're not following him, you're totally missing out. I I have so much fun, and it's like a privilege to watch Hammy keep growing and growing and growing and growing and growing his numbers. Absolutely fantastic. You definitely need to be following him. Wendell Hardy, my man, what a great comment. It's okay to let a customer walk when they need to think about it. It's easier to replace the customer than to replace the car. Man, how like true is that, right? Absolutely. That's like so the truth. It's easier to replace the customer than the car. You have nothing to lose by not applying pressure. Friends, pressure is not going to get you anywhere, okay? If you're going to transfer confidence to a customer, help them make a decision, absolutely. But pressuring a customer, man, if you haven't learned that by now, it's like it's just not going to happen. Here we go. Okay, Bryson says if he can't fit in the car, physically fit in the car. Now that makes total sense, and I totally get it. Absolutely. There have been some absolutely fantastic comments, okay? Vinny even says, what you learn on a great test drive is so valuable. That is so absolutely true, right? You will learn so much about the customer. You may even learn some of the other wants and needs that they didn't tell you before, right? For whatever reason. So many great things, like, man, the test drive is absolutely vital. Before we move on to number 7 and to the bonus, the real heavy hitters, the really good stuff, the stuff that's like you've been waiting for the whole show, that's really going to make a difference. Let me ask you one more time, friends. I know that you know somebody that needs to be on the show. Tag them in the comments, okay? Tag them and bring them in. We need to make it so that the people that we know, that they hear, I gotta think about it, a lot less often, okay? So tag them in there. Managers, tag all your salespeople. Tag your entire sales team. BDC managers, tag all your BDC reps. Tag them in the comments and bring them in so they don't have to hear, I got to think about it anymore, okay? We don't want that. Don't forget, hit the share button. It's absolutely important. It means the world to me. Please hit that share button. Last but not least, I told you a bunch of times, all right? And it's so true. Your comments have value, and people want to hear them. I want to hear them. I absolutely want to hear them, and so does everybody else. Don't think in your mind that an idea that you had or something that you remembered, that it's not valuable to everybody else, or that everyone's going to think it's stupid, or everybody already knows that. Then you'd be surprised how much stuff people don't know, okay? Like, there's a lot. Trust me, there's a lot. So please add, okay? Share your comments with all of us. I love reading them. Everybody else loves reading them too. Don't forget, Live with Lopes is now on 7 days a week, every Sunday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday at 8 p.m., Saturdays at 8 a.m., and every Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern. That's when we do the brand new live show. Okay, let's get into the wrap-up. Number 7 and the bonus, why they say, I got to think about it. Oh, God, I hate that. Why they say, I got to think about it, and how to make it stop. Number 7. These are the heavy hitters. These are the big ones. These are the ones that you don't want to hear, but you need to hear. You made a bad first impression. Friends, most of the time you get an I got to think about it a little somewhere during that customer visit, because you got off on the wrong foot, because you made a bad impression. You didn't start off the right way. And a lot of that, the only person that you've got to blame, the only person you can blame, you can make up a whole bunch of excuses. You can make up a whole bunch of people to blame, but the only person you really can blame is yourself. It's yourself and nobody else. Your appearance, the way that you talk. Maybe you went too fast. Maybe you went too slow. Maybe you used too much slang. Maybe you made some kind of stupid joke, right? Your aggressiveness, your lack of aggressiveness, your lack of caring, your laissez-faire. I think that's the way you say that. Your laissez-faire. I like to say laissez-faire because you're a lazy ass, right? But your laziness, your I don't care attitude, that made a bad first impression. You got off on the wrong foot. You totally turned the customer off. And then what happened? Oh, I got to think about it. What they're really saying in the I got to think about it is there's no way I'm buying a car from you. I like to look at the car. I want to see the car. Now I know that's the right car for me, but I ain't buying it from you. You asked for the sale way too soon. You pre-qualified, meaning that like you asked for a credit app as soon as you met the customer. Come on now. Come on now. You tried to pre-qualify the customer before you even like really got into what was important to them, before you got into the 5 questions. No, I shouldn't really put those two things together because 5 questions is a strong 30 thing. And strong 30, people that are in strong 30, we don't pre-qualify customers. Never. You wouldn't be in strong 30 anymore. That's how it works, right? No, but that doesn't happen. We don't do that type of thing. Look, the things that you can control that have to do that make that first impression, and honestly, the biggest one of all of them is your appearance. There are too many auto pros out there, okay, that honestly, they're just getting lazy. They've gotten lazy. Maybe they always were lazy when it came to their appearance. They don't care about having their hair looking good. They don't care about their clothes being clean. Number one, let's start with clean, okay? But they don't care about their clothes fitting properly. They don't care about their clothes being wrinkle-free, okay? And looking sharp, looking fresh, their shoes being shined up and nice and clean. Now, look, I'm not saying that you got to go and you got to go to Brooks Brothers or you got to go to the custom tailor and you got to like outfit yourself from top to bottom and spend a whole ton of money. That's not what I'm saying. Okay, but what I'm saying is that what you do have, I don't care if it's a $20 pair of khakis from Walmart, I could care less. The fact is that they should be clean and they should be wrinkle-free. You got to wear the shirts from the dealership? No problem. Make sure they're clean. Make sure they're wrinkle-free. I can tell all the time, within seconds, I can tell who laundered their shirts at the dry cleaner and they're nice, right? Look impressed, or who pulled them out of the dryer 5 minutes before they left the house to come to the dealership, or who pulled them out of the bottom of the dirty clothes pile on their bathroom floor. Like, oh man, I'm all out of shirts. I'll spray a little cologne and a little deodorant on this one. There, that'll do. That'll do. No, that's not going to do. That's going to make a horrible first impression. Nobody wants to buy a vehicle from somebody in wrinkled up clothes. Nobody wants to buy a vehicle from somebody who looks like they just finished putting themselves together 3 minutes before they got to the dealership, right? The first impression is absolutely vital. It's something that you can control too. This is what really kills me. There's so many things that go on. Honestly, there are so many things that happen that can turn a customer off, that can make a customer say, I got to think about it. They can just make a customer say no. There are so many things that you quite honestly don't have control over. Your appearance, your first impression is something that you have control over. You can completely control it. You can make sure that you're always looking good. You can make sure that your clothes look fresh. You can make sure that your breath smells fresh. How about that? Somebody's going to come in and buy a $60,000 car and they're going to buy it from somebody with stuff in their teeth and stinky breath and crusties in their eyes and their hair all messed up and their clothes all wrinkled. And come on, your first impression is something that you got control over. Take control over it. Make a good first impression. Like, you know the old saying, you never get a second chance to make a first impression? It's true. In your first impression, it can definitely turn somebody off, okay? Last but not least, the bonus, number 8, why they say I got to think about it and how to make it stop. You lost or you never had the customer's trust. Either you lost or you never had the customer's trust. Friends, if you lose a customer's trust, I don't care if when you come in, if you're going to if you're going to rate a customer's trust on a scale of 0 to 100, and when you first meet that customer, your scale number is 1. I don't care. Even if your scale number is just a number 1, that's it. Even if it's just number one, you can't lose that 1% of trust. And as soon as you do, it's over. You're going to get an I got to think about it. If you present the numbers improperly, if you ask for the close way too fast before you've earned it, if you don't listen to the customer, there were a whole bunch of people today in the comments, and it was fantastic. There were a bunch of people in the comments that said, you got to listen to the customer, not listening to when they talk, not listening to their needs, not taking their needs seriously. That's going to do you in every time. That's going to get you, and I got to think about it. Every one of those comments down there, they're all 100% right, man. You've got to earn the customer's trust. And once you've earned it, you've got to keep it. It's absolutely vital that you do. If you lose the customer's trust, you're going to lose everything. Okay? You're going to lose everything. Hammy just put up an absolutely great comment where he said, I treat my clients like I have been treated when I've been out for fine dining. Absolutely. Hammy, you're totally right. I so wish that I was the person to come up with this, okay? But Grant Cardone said so many years ago, you treat everybody like they're millionaires. Treat them all like millionaires. And if you find out that they're a millionaire, you treat them like a billionaire then. But you treat everybody like millionaires. Friends, you got to treat each and every one of your customers like their trust is the most important thing to you, because it should be the most important thing to you. It absolutely should be the most important thing, because if you lose it, it's over. Like, it's literally over. Back on the mat, the ref's over there, 8, 9, 10, you're out. It's over and it's done. If they don't trust you, it's not happening. Okay? It's not happening. You could have the only one. Let's say this customer is looking for what can you not find right now? Tahoes. Let's say somebody's looking for a brand new Tahoe. You have a 2022 black on black, okay, Premier with everything in it. Customer's been looking all over the country. You have it, okay? You have it. If the customer don't trust you, they'll pass. They're going to pass on the vehicle because they're not going to spend 80 or 90 grand on a vehicle and buy it from somebody that they don't trust. Friends, trust is absolutely vital. And for so many years and for so much time in our industry, we took trust totally for granted. We took it for granted. We abused it. We didn't value it. And you know what happened? It bit us in the ass for so many years. Now we're at the point where we're building that trust back. We're at that point where customers are understanding how important it is to have a relationship with somebody. When you're buying a vehicle, $20, $40, $60, $80, $100,000, you need to have a relationship with somebody. It's not like buying a gallon of milk. Okay? It's not like going to Home Depot and buying a piece of pipe or whatever, light bulbs like I did at Home Depot the other day. Got new lights in the studio. It looks really good, right? But it's not like that. It's not a transactional type of thing. Okay? It's an emotional type of thing. Emotional meaning that for the customer, the amount of risk is high. The amount of loss could be monumental. It's important to the customers that they make the right decision. And by doing that, they need somebody they can trust. That's why people like Hammy, like Michael Hamilton are so successful. That's why people like Ali Rita and Frank Cranitti and people like Guy Miranda and Wendell, right? And Janelle and so many great people that are watching the show right now, right? Frank Rebeloso. That's why those people sell so many cars, because their customers trust them. Because their customers value them, because they value their customers. We've been taking customers for granted for way too long. And I know, man, we've been turning the corner and it's been getting better and better and better. We're losing that transactional mindset. We're losing that transactional model and we're building that relationship, okay? More and more and more customers, man. I see it each and every single day with the over 50 dealer partners that I work with personally. I'm seeing it. Leads are going up and up and up. Phone calls are going up and up and up. Why? Because customers want information. They want to make sure the car is there first, right? But they want information. They have questions. When the BDC or when a salesperson, an internet salesperson, when they answer those questions properly, when they answer them with care, when they invest the time, you know what happens? That appointment set rate goes up and up and up. Okay? When a manager confirms that appointment, that confirmation rate goes up and up and up. The appointment show goes up and up and up, and the closing percentage goes up and up. Why? Because you start with trust. You start with building trust. Friends, that's what it's all about. That's what you do to make sure that you don't have those I got to think about it moments. Throughout the whole process, you got to keep earning that customer's trust. You have to hunger for it. You've got to thirst for it. You've got to hunger for that customer's trust insatiably, no matter what. Like I said, you start at 0, go up to 100. You could be at 100. You want 120. You want to earn more trust. You're looking for more trust. It all comes down to that. That's how you get repeat customers. That's how you get referral customers. Man, Frank, he's the guy to go to. That's who you got. That's my car guy. That's who you got to go to. I trust him, and he's going to do the right thing by you. That's what you need to happen. But you don't get it. You don't get those things, friends, if you don't get the customer's trust. How do you get the customer's trust? All the things that I talked about throughout the whole show. You got to understand first and foremost that the customer says to you, I got to think about it. Why do they say it? It's a defense mechanism. It's to push you back. It's for them to get control. It's to create some space so they can get out of there. It's because you did something wrong, okay? It's because either you didn't have a process, you don't have a process, or you didn't follow the process. The process helps you stay away from the I got to think about it moments, my friends. Follow the process, right? Either you did a bad presentation. You got to remember, customers care about the things that are important to them, okay? To them, not to you. To what's important to them. Your presentation needs to revolve around that. What's important to them. And you absolutely need to make sure that you go with the customer's pace. Not too fast, not too slow. You got to mirror their pace and their speed, and you stay with that, right? You got to demo each and every single customer. You've got to let them test drive the car, right? 70% of people, the only reason they visit the dealership to see, touch, feel, smell, and drive the car. 93% of people say that it was absolutely vital. The test drive was vital in them making a decision. You got to make sure that they do it, right? And you absolutely, positively, once in a while, you got to let the customer think about it. You're going to get one or two that they're going to have to think about it. You got to give them the space and let them do it, right? Don't forget, got to make a good first impression, and you have to make sure that the customer trusts you. Strive for that trust. It's absolutely vital. Friends, I don't want you to hear, I got to think about it from your customers anymore. You follow those 8 points, the amount of customers that say, I got to think about it, it's going to go down. The amount of customers that are going to say, can I take it with me today? Can I take it home right now? It's going to go up and up and up and up, and that's what you want. Get rid of that transactional mindset. Focus on the customer. Build that relationship, okay? Build that trust, and you won't hear, I got to think about it no more, all right? That's it for tonight, my friends. I love you so much. I want you to have an absolutely fantastic week. We'll see you next week right here, Monday, 9 p.m. Eastern on the best show in auto, Live with Lopes. We'll see you next week.